Welcome to another benefit of the Doud Review. I am your host, Adam Doud, and joining me as always is co-host Cliff. Cliff, what's up?
Hey, guy.
Hey, yo! You know what? I'm just going to take a moment, and it's kind of keeping in the theme of this review, but I'm just going to take a moment to say, my dude, that music that you found for this podcast is so delightful. I just love it.
It's bombastic.
It really is, and it's just, it has all, and like if you listen to the whole song, which I actually haven't done in a while,
I have
it has like all the components, like one of my favorite songs is by Metallica. It's Call of Cthulhu, which is it's kind of like, it starts off like pretty, it goes heavy, goes back to pretty, goes back to it's got like all the juice. It's got like you know, elements of niceness, it's got elements of, you know, hardcore, like good stuff, and like if I ever had like one song to listen to for the rest of my life, it would probably be that. But this might actually be a close second because it has all those same elements. It's got the pretty part. It's got like a little jazzy bluesy part in the middle of it, and like I'm gonna put a link in the show notes for this episode. Go listen to that song because it is it's a banger. I like it. I like it. So good call on that, Cliff. I mean, when you a true story, when you called mildly drunk the one night and pitched the idea of this podcast to me, you gave me that song, like you showed me that song, and you're like, I found your intro music, and I'm like, and like I was kind of leading you on, you know, to begin with, like I just, okay, yeah, Cliff, we'll do a podcast, it's okay. Then I listen to that music and I'm like, hey, there's something here. there really is something here. And long story short, 4 years later, things are delightful. Exactly. Can you believe it's been 4 years?
No. And just, I know that this feels like self-aggrandizing with the podcast, but no, but it is a little interesting to think about just the transitions that our content has gone from.
Right, it really is. And like this is actually rapidly turning into a Doubting Thomas episode, which we should probably pump the brakes on and maybe have this retrospective next month, because next month will actually be the 4-year anniversary.
That's right.
But yeah, so it's I think what gives me positive vibes about this podcast as a creative unit, if you will, is the fact that it has been evolving the entire time. Like it hasn't really gone static at all. It's been mutating and evolving, and it, you know, in good ways and some bad ways, but in good ways mostly. And I think
it is a malleable. Well, that's the thing, that podcasting or video creation is a malleable format that you can change.
Yeah,
and hope you just have to hope that the audience comes with you. So thank you for coming with us on this journey, those that have been there since the beginning.
Absolutely. And there are some folks that are still around that have been there since the very beginning. Anyway,
speaking of audio,
speaking of great music, we are here to talk about, I'm putting this speaker down in the middle of the field of view of the Skippy, the review cam, even though Skippy hasn't even turned on yet. So I'm going to rewind that and put that back over there. We're talking about the Tribit StormBox Micro 2 portable speaker, which comes to us via Cliff and his bank account, because it was just one of those surprise, you're getting a package. And like and you know, some days you get packages and it's just like, oh, that's fine. And some days and I've said this on the podcast before, when someone sends you something, they're not sending you a present, they're sending you an assignment. And this one kind of felt like an assignment a little bit, but it's okay, because as it turns out, this is actually a pretty handy little guy, and I think this will find some full-time use in a location that we will talk about shortly. Actually, 2 locations I can think of being. Now, the fact that you sent this to me in the middle of winter, I haven't actually been able to test out one of those locations yet, but anyway, why don't we go ahead and stop rambling, because this has a very rambly feel to it, which sometimes our audience likes, but sometimes they don't. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring up Mr. Skippy, which has already been muted. So no screw ups on that.
Funny story, actually. I muted it before you did.
Oh, did you?
So then I had to remute it because I saw your head go boop. I'm like, oh.
Way to be on the ball, Cliff. I really appreciate it.
Too many cooks in the kitchen sometimes.
Yep. So let's go ahead and introduce Mr. Skippy, the review gam. Hello, Skippy. And this is the Tribit StormBox Micro 2 portable speaker, which is a bit of a mouthful.
Yes,
but
it is.
yeah, this is as it appears, a Bluetooth speaker with 3 very prominent buttons on the front and a few less prominent buttons on the edge here. But this is it's a portable Bluetooth speaker. I mean,
hey, Bluetooth speaker. What do you want?
It's yeah, we're gonna piss off our Italian fans there, but just to give you an idea of the scale, here is an iPhone 15 Pro next to the Tribit, the StormBox Micro 2 portable speaker.
I think it definitely fits in the name Micro. It's
definitely. And what would be a podcast talking about size if we didn't bring in what do we call this? Is it Cam? No,
I don't remember now.
Cal the caliper.
That's right.
Yeah, so we are 99.3 millimeters wide, 99.4 millimeters tall. So same.
Basically
and then in the depth is 40 millimeters. You can see right there. So it doesn't include the feet. So the most notable, there's a couple of notable features about this speaker that you might want to look into. First of all, the 3 buttons across the front, which this is your multi-function button. This is your play, your pause, your access your phone's assistant button, all that. This is volume up, volume down, yada, yada, yada. But around the back, this is a strap that you can see. It's a rubberized strap, but it actually detaches.
Oh, is it magnetic, or is it a little button? Like, how does it?
No, it's like a little hooky thing here. You can see, and then that goes into there. So this is a strap that you can attach this to a backpack or handlebars or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And once this gets hooked into there, this is not coming out. Like I don't know if you've ever watched the movie UHF.
Yes. Yes.
Where Stanley Spadowski has the I don't remember what the little guy's name was, but he ties him to a string and he goes
oh, that's when they start the morning kids show.
Yeah. So seriously, this thing is not coming off. I'm
Spatula City.
We love spatulas, or Spatula City. We sell spatulas, and that's all. I love it. But anyway, so I mean, you can see, I am shaking the heck out of this thing, and it is not going anywhere. So twisting it laterally, nice. I was honestly really super skeptical about this hook, because it's just a piece of plastic that sticks out of the rubber that hooks into this this little deal here. I was like, there's no way that's gonna hold. But I mean, man, it really does. It's really super strong. So I mean, what you can do with this is you can strap it to the strap of a backpack. You can strap it to the handlebars of your bike, which was the one use case which I wasn't able to test out because it's stupid cold outside right now. Mm-hmm. But you can strap it to the inside of your shower if you want, because this, as the name implies, this is the StormBox Micro 2. So presumably now it has an IP67,
right?
Yeah, it has an IP67 rating, so it can withstand I think the IP67 is that's splashes of water, right? So don't submerge it, but it should be able to theoretically survive in a shower. Now, I should mention that this is an IP67 rating and I tend to not test those when it comes to, like, there are some phones that I have literally stuck into a fish tank. But when it comes to, like, if you're going to sell your product based on the fact that it's durable to withstand like a construction site and 30 minutes of like submerged in salt water, fine, I will test that.
Like a rugged phone or something like that, right?
Right. But when it comes to stuff like this, when it's IP67, IP68, I tend to not test those for two reasons. One, because those IP ratings very rarely take into account chemicals. So, like, if you put a IP68 phone into a pool, maybe the water won't affect it, but the chlorine could, mess it up. And the second option is, what if you break it? So,
True.
like, now we don't have a review to do. So I'm going to tell you that this is IP67 rated, and I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I did not test that because what if it breaks? And I guess maybe that's a reportable statistic.
Right.
That's a reportable fact. But then that becomes the only reportable fact about this review, and then we don't bother doing the reviews. And then you don't find out about it anyway. So, I mean, really, I'm going to tell you it's IP67. I'm also going to tell you I usually don't take IP67 things into my shower. I prefer to just be me in the shower. I don't wear watches in the shower. I don't use phones in the shower. And I think a Grateful Nation.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing where, I mean, I'd like that it has the strap on the back, but I'm not sure that everybody's going to end up taking it in the shower anyway. I'm just kind of an in and out person anyway when it comes to that. So I don't know. Maybe I'd be dancing in the shower if I had a little bit
too much information, but okay. But no, so I honestly think like when this review is over, I probably will go ahead and toss this into the shower and maybe use it and then like when I want to take it on my bike, I'll grab it out. And because I mean, this thing flops off pretty easily, despite how well it holds on to its to its thing. But anyway, so those are like the two major use cases that I can see using this. Down on the bottom, I should point out there's also a power button and a Bluetooth button. And can I just say, it is such a breath of fresh air when a Bluetooth device has a separate Bluetooth button.
Yes.
And it doesn't have just like the push in the button and hold in the power button and, hold it in until the Bluetooth thing turns on. So I appreciate that.
It is the bane of my existence when I send, I gave my mom, I'm stupid with headphones around my house, and I just gave her some, actually it was a Sony MX-1004, whatever they are, the over the ear.
Really?
Headphones.
Wow. Yep. That's a generous gift from mom, but okay.
It was. But it's such a without when they don't have a separate Bluetooth button, then you're like, all right, with that one, was it hold down the power button for 4 seconds in order to put it in pairing mode? Like just having that separate Bluetooth button or switch, whatever you want to call it, is so nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Because every manufacturer does it differently.
So I don't know if you saw it when I powered it on. It flashed by really quick. But when you power it on, it gives you these four pips here to indicate battery life.
Okay.
And the blue light indicates the Bluetooth connectivity, which is nice. This is currently connected to my iPhone. And then so that's pretty much how that works. The only other really notable feature is like there's 4 rubber feet on the bottom. So like when you set it down, it can still get, air moving through it and sound pushing down through it. But you can also stand it up if you want. Oh. So if you want it to face you, the Tribit app, I don't know if it's Tribit or Tribit. I probably Tribit, but I have it. So the way my brain works is when I get it into my head that something is a thing, that is what it is for the rest of its life. I have a little I call it a dinosaur. It's like a little turtle thing with like a baseball shell on it that I use to prop up my iPad when I'm playing games. And so I will always say, "Where's my dinosaur?" And my entire family is like, "It's a goddamn turtle." Anyway, but it's a dinosaur because my brain decided that it's a dinosaur, and that is just what it is. I'm sorry. I'm moving on. Anyway, so there is a Tribit app, which, shoot, I had it installed. Where'd it go?
It's great TV.
It really is. No, seriously. Oh, wait, maybe did I have this installed on? Man, being a phone reviewer is such a stupid job. I think I might have installed it on a different phone. Anyway, with the Tribit app, you're just gonna have to take my word for it, because we're not gonna sit here while I download an app.
Right.
You can set up like speaker groups and stuff like that, which is always kind of cool. It also has an EQ in there that you can adjust, which is a nice addition. I swear to God, I thought I had it on my iPhone, but okay. Anyway, we're going to move on from that.
So that is something to mention, though, is that I believe you can pair it with another Tribit speaker.
Yes.
Not even just,
not
even just.
And I want to say,
Pro.
I think up to 4. I think you can do up to 4 speakers together in a group. So that's
and Tribit has like 5 different speaker models, with which you can make it work with it. I guess as long as it's in that family of speakers and you can use it with the app, you can do that, which is cool.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do like the whole home audio thing, like you can do with like a Sonos or something. Technically,
this is kind of fun. Let me just do a quick screen share here, because I just happened to glance over and see this on the Tribit website, and since that's what we're talking about right now, hang on, that like you got like spacesuit guy here.
What in the world?
With the dual speakers like strapped to his I don't know if that's, I think it's like a racing outfit
that
or
is
something.
Definitely photoshopped. I'm just gonna, if you look at the light,
it's 100% photoshopped. Like
there's like no light. The light source is like very like just as like a graphic designer, I'm looking at it, it's like very dispersed, like diffused, and then you got like these harsh highlights on the top of the speakers. But anyway,
like that is 100%. But still, it's like just this ridiculous setup here that you can have like you can be like walking down the street like blasting stereo from your breasts, I guess.
While you're wearing a racing helmet.
While you're racing helmet, while you're wearing a racing helmet. And and anybody here, if anybody wants to scan that QR code and tell me like what that comes back to, I'm deeply curious now. Not curious enough that I'm going to do it myself, but I am slightly curious. I can't zoom in, can I, with the with this thing? I don't think you can.
If you do the Control plus on your browser, it might work.
Oh, well, then I got to pick up my keyboard. Hang on a second.
But that might just make your text bigger. We'll see.
That's true. Oh, that's the wrong window. that was the
it didn't show it. You're fine.
No, that was the stream window.
Now it says that it can be on their website. Oh, there you go. Up to 3 feet of water with IP67, but again, we haven't tried that.
Yeah,
there's the QR code.
I ain't testing that. So someone scan that QR code and tell me what it does.
I'll do it right now.
Oh no, yeah. So, by the way, we're a service podcast here. So PSA, if you ever do screw up your Zoom like I just did, if you push Control-0, that'll bring it back to normal. So
and one thing before you kill that window, if you look, there's the original StormBox.
I was literally hovering my mouse over the button to kill it.
It's one of those like meaningful upgrade kind of things. Just really quickly there, you can see on they have the original StormBox Micro. I am so thankful that they added the controls on the top there with the StormBox Micro 2. Like I would be so frustrated if
no, it looks like they had them before. Like
maybe they're capacitive or so. They're just much better highlighted.
Yeah, they're better highlighted, so they're easier to see.
12 hours of battery life versus 8. So
I like down at the bottom. Charge other devices? No. Charge other devices? Could charge your phone. Which, by the way, is the last feature that we are going to talk about here. So I'm going to go ahead and kill that window. So this has a little marketing copy. Could charge your phone. Now it could, but will it? That's the question. So no. So there is a USB-C port on here, and you obviously charge it with a USB-C, but this is bi-directional. So not only is this a USB-C in, it's also a USB-C out. So if you want to charge your phone, it is a 4,700 milliamp hour battery. I'm looking for a USB-C to USB-C cable. I literally just had one here. but it is gone now. So what the hell?
It's migrating season. It's gone back to
It really is
warmer pastures.
All right, so here's a cable.
There you go, all nicely wrapped up and ready to go.
Yeah, did I tell you I still use the Dieter Bone method of wrapping cables?
You have not.
So plug that bad boy in there, and bada bang, you see. And
cool.
it spit out the charging sound from here. And speaking of which, we should probably play a little thing.
Also, it can charge while it's also being used as a speaker.
Yep. All right. So take that, copyright strikers.
Man, that's got some kick and bass.
It has some powerful sound to it. It sounds a little bit on the hollow side, like it's a portable speaker. So I mean, like at the end of the day, your speaker cabinet can only be so big, and your speaker driver can only be so big. So it has a little bit of a hollow sound to it, but it does give you some like nuance in the bass, which I like. Like when it's like doing the you can feel that. You could feel a little bit like even on the table when you have your hands on the table and it's kicking. I like that. Like I said, it's not. It's not a speaker cabinet. It's. Right. I'm coming off of a review of the Brain Audio Brain X smart speaker, which is like
speaker.
It has completely skewed my perspective.
I totally get it
on speakers. Yeah, but that one costs literally 10 times what this one does. So, but anyway, overall the sound is good. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the most amazing sound that I've ever heard. But like from a portable speaker that's this size, I would say, yeah, it's up there with speakers that I've heard. Now, I don't really have much of a use case for portable Bluetooth speakers. I don't use them all that often. I know Cliff uses them like all the time.
Do
yes, you do. But all the same, like I appreciate the fact that I have this around, and the fact that it's a portable power bank that I can strap to my backpack. This might actually make the trip with me to Barcelona at MWC. Maybe I probably won't use it as a speaker because I don't want to be like walking through MWC. Say, listen, hey everybody, listen to my podcast. You like that? But no, I mean it's like a 5,000
vote from Mayor Goldie Hawn or Goldie Wilson.
Mayor Goldie Wilson. I like the sound of that. Anyway, but the fact that it's almost a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that I can strap to my bag and like just kind of like strap to my front like the space helmet guy, I can see that being valuable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still developing my packing list for MWC, and I think it's going to be a lot smaller than I have taken to other trips, just because I don't know. Well, because like you get back from these trips and you're like, nope, didn't need that. Nope, didn't need that. Nope, didn't need that. So like I've been slowly paring down what I take on trips. And so,
I don't know if you're like I have a feeling you're like me, and what I mean by that is when I go, I will absolutely underpack clothes and overpack tech.
I wondered if that's where you were going, but yes, that's 100%. I only need like 3 pairs of pants for a week. I'll be fine.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God, yeah.
People in Spain don't have nostrils.
That is so relatable content, my friend. But anyway,
I'll just walk very fast.
We're wandering a little bit, so we should probably,
as one does. All right,
we should probably tighten things up a little bit. And as my T-shirt says, occasional adult. So, anyway, this podcast has been a moment. Anyway, so the last thing to talk about here is price. Currently on Amazon, it is $59.99 for the black colorway, which is the one that I have. And Cliff pointed out that there was a $15 coupon.
15%.
Or 15%, which is not $15. It's actually $7.50, but whatever. So you can get this down to just a hair over $50, which, I mean, for a portable speaker, that's also a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. That's legit. That's not bad.
Legit.
The only thing I'd like to see is, I'll tell you, I think they're missing an opportunity here. If they put wireless charging coils on the back here, and you could just like strap your phone to it.
It's also not.
Anyway,
actually, that's kind of the way you've got it there. Other than the fact that might affect. No, I guess you have a case on it. It's probably the strap's not going to affect the screen. That's kind of a cool little combo there. If you're like at the beach or something.
It's really not. Like, you would think, like, in theory, maybe that's really cool. It's really not. Because at the end of the day, you do have a gigantic big rubber strap going across your screen. So anyway, but no, I like the.
I'm full of ideas.
Hello,
I didn't say good ideas.
What the hell? I just started yelling at myself.
Hello.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
It wasn't worth repeating.
Okay, fair enough.
Like many things that I say.
So little of this podcast is worth repeating, and it's fun. But anyway, so yeah, that's the Tribit Storm Micro 2.
StormBox Micro 2.
StormBox Micro 2. You are correct. That is the portable speaker, and that is the review, and that is going to do it for this review on the benefit of the Doud Podcast. Please consider subscribing to this podcast and clicking that subscribe button down below. And I said subscribe, so I think YouTube rolled out the feature where it actually made the subscribe button go woo. Anyway, so I'm going to say subscribe a couple more times. And subscribe, and then make sure you click that like button. Woo! And if you like this podcast, and leave a comment down below. Do you use portable speakers? I'm curious. Like, I know you do, Cliff, but I mean, do our audience use portable speakers? And if so, will they be picking up a Tribit StormBox Micro 2 portable speaker? And if you didn't like the podcast, close the window. I don't give a crap. Anyway, so yeah, and if you want a little bit of early access, go ahead and check out our Patreon, patreon.com/benefit of the Doud. That, now that we've gotten our 500 subscribers, that might not be long for this world, but maybe there will be a join button down below by the time you watch this. And if there is, click the join button, because you'll get basically the same stuff that the patrons get it. But I would like to thank Cliff for sending me this speaker completely out of the blue and not bothering to tell me about it. And I would also like to thank him for all the hard work that he does behind the scenes. But most of all, and as always, I would like to thank all of you for listening and for giving us the benefit of the Doud.